start again.
Get my schedule together to see. You going?
No, I had a vacation.
I gotta go check my.
Here.
You don't want it?
I mean, I don't care.
You had air conditioning, you haven't had.
No, my air conditioner. All right, we will now call this meeting to order. Thank you all so much for being here. It's good to see everybody in the audience here at our meeting, regularly scheduled meeting. We will start with the roll call. District 1.
Andre Knoxon, District 1.
Keith Love, District 2.
Elma Bowie, Commissioner at Large.
Dedrick Johnson, Mayor.
Abel Garza, Commissioner at Large.
Chris Sharp, District 3.
Jamie Clark, District 4.
All right, thank you very much. Let the record reflect that we do have a full quorum established, a full commission here. So thank you very much. At this time, we are happy to have with us, helping us out with the invocation, our friend Mr. Dennis Johns of First Baptist Church in Texas City. Pastor Johns, if you want to stay there. After that, we will follow up with Commissioner Clark, who's going to help us out in the pledges of allegiance, and be back with you.
Before I start, just one thought. Family and I, coming up on 30 years in Texas City. I love Texas City. We love Texas City because of this very thing, because of community. And so thank you for all that you do in different areas. Those of you that serve, those of you that work hard to make Texas City a great place to live and raise a family. Thank you. Let's pray. Father, we are grateful, and we know that because of you, Father, we succeed. We thank you for your love, for your protection. God, we thank you for the way that you watch over not just Texas City, but God, that you watch over our families. Father, today we ask your presence here today. And Father, as we share differences and as we share similarities, we thank you that you are the God of all. You're the protector. You're the provider. We thank you that we participate, and thank you that we have an ability to thrive in a community that works together. And pray, God, that you'd continue to guide us, that you'd continue to lead us, lead our leaders, give them your wisdom to lead as they see your guidance in their area. Father, we thank you again for community. We thank you for each and every person that is involved in this city. And we pray, God, again, that you would continue to create unity among us, and God, that we would continue to strive to please you, and God, to work for the better of community, the better of humanity. God, you are the God of all. You are to be honored. You are to be praised. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Please join me in the pledge to our great nation. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
of the Texas flag.
On the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Right. Pastor Johns, if you thank you for that invocation. If you have anything you'd like to share with the city about the things going on at First Baptist Church, or anything you'd like the community to know or invite us to?
Just know that we recently, last 3 or 4 years, moved into the old Dillard's building, remodeled. If you haven't seen it, come by. We've got coffee brewing every morning. Come by, let me show you around. It's a great facility. Good things are happening. Come join us if you get a chance.
Thank you very much. We appreciate you. All right. At this time, we're up to proclamations and presentations. We do have a few service awards that we'd like to give out to a few people in the city of Texas City who've been with us. Let's start with Miss Amanda Gracia of Parks and Recreation. She has been with us for 10 years. So thank you. If you've ever had to call and make a reservation for a room, she's the one who has, come on up, all the way up back here. She's the one who has dealt with that. She's our reservation supervisor. Thank you so much. Spend it all in one place. Thank you.
Thanks for all you do, man.
With the library, 15 years, I want to recognize Miss Denise Castor of Moore Public Library. We're thankful for her 15 years of service. In our water distribution department, we have Mr. Hector Alonso, 15 years. Also, we have from the police department, Robert Judson, 20 years. Mr. Judson, if there's some people here you'd like to acknowledge or some words you want to have, if you want to step to the podium, you can do that at this time.
I'm not sure they want to know this.
I heard somebody in the audience who was pretty proud.
I've brought my clan with me. My wife Melissa, my mother-in-law Shirley, my son, my mom, my daughter, my granddaughter, my other grandson, and my baby daughter.
All right, thank you. And also we have Mr. Michael Bullock of Bayou Golf Course. Mr. Bullock is not here with us, but he has given 25 years to the city of Texas City, and we're thankful for him as well. Okay. We're up to reports in our city commission agenda, and we have here today to give reports. We will hear from Assistant Chief Manuel Johnson and Corporal Timothy Hurd of Texas City Police Department.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Commission.
Good afternoon.
I'm Manuel Johnson. I'm the Assistant Chief here at Texas City, and I'm going to go over, if I can get it to move, attrition within the department. Attrition is a reduction in numbers, usually as a result of resignation, retirement, or death. Attrition is inevitable for any organization, but should monitor as a means of understanding. For this presentation, we're going to look at both voluntary and involuntary attrition rates for the Texas City Police Department sworn personnel. Our system let us go back 15 years to 2009 when Chief Burby was here. This shows the average attrition rate during this time period between 2009 and 2018 is 8%. The highest attrition rate during that time was 14%. When Chief Stanton took over the department from Chief Burby in 2019, the attrition rate was 20%. And the average during that almost 5-year time that he was chief was 11.5%. When Chief Cravens inherited the department in September 1st of 2023, the attrition rate was 7.9%. And in 2024, it is 12.87%. So it's got an average of 10%. To kind of put this into perspective, the PERF Forum, Police Executive Research Forum, this is covering 182 agencies in 38 states. It includes Sheriff's Office, the Police Department, commissioners. It shows from 2019 to 2022 that the sworn resignations are over 40%. And so we're staying well below that number. And then in retirements, the same thing. The numbers got a little over 30% during the same time period. So we're seeing the less of a trend of attrition in our department compared to the rest of the United States. That's it.
All right, thank you, sir. Commissioners, do y'all have any questions of Assistant Chief Manuel Johnson? Thank you, sir. Thank you. Corporal Hurd?
How's everybody doing this afternoon?
All right.
All right, I'm Timothy Hurd, Officer Timothy Hurd, Texas City Police Department. I've been tasked over the past several years with our public relations unit as part of the whole, everything that we do as a police department. So I'm just going to go over some of the programs. A lot of you are probably already familiar with a lot of the information I'm going to cover, but there may be a few tidbits that you find new or, and technology is not my thing. I see Jennifer laughing at me already. But then there may be some things, some of you that may not be familiar with. So real quick, I'm gonna touch on our Texas City Citizens Police Academy and the Alumni Association, volunteering policing, a neighborhood watch program, our Explorer program, annual events, and then where we stand on the mayor's community on the city's community matters. Now, our Citizens Police Academy is there. If you're not familiar with it, is when citizens come to the police department, they get a chance to spend time with our officers learning what our police department does. The several units that are inside the police department, they get a chance to spend time one-on-one with these officers or in teams. The officers show them the benefit of having these units in our department, in our city, and what they do, and they really get a chance to build rapport. But in addition to the information, everything that they receive, the citizens that come through become a force multiplier for us. When I say force multiplier, our officers can't be everywhere in the city all the time. All right, so it's the citizens and the information they relay to our officers that really helps us in our public service and keeping the city safe. So we welcome that. And with the CPA members in the community, in different pockets of the community, there may be things that we don't hear or we don't see, and they're able to bring that to our attention. In addition, there may be citizens that wonder why we do things a certain way or what was going on here. It's members of our CPA that are able to convey that information to citizens in certain pockets, even though Jennifer does a great job on social media. So that's in addition to. Volunteers in policing. So the CPA is actually an academy that they go through. It's usually 10 weeks, 10 to 12 weeks long, meets once a week, 3 to 4 hours. And at the end of that, they receive a certificate, and then they're able to join the Alumni Association. Quite often, if the city has events, you'll see members of the Alumni Association. Mr. Rat, you'll see members of the Alumni Association out assisting with these events. So once they're a part of the alumni, they do that. And plus, they help the police department with some of the events that we have, and I'll mention those in a moment. In addition to that, we also have volunteering in policing. These are individuals that either because of their job schedule, their work schedule, or family schedule, they're not able to make that commitment to the academy, but they still want to assist in the mission that we have. So the volunteers in policing, they come in and they assist with things. Now let me back up. One of the other perks for being a member of the Alumni Association or volunteering policing, when we have training exercises, when our SWAT team and our crisis negotiating team goes out and we need role players, these are the members that we normally pull from first. So they get a chance to experience that firsthand. One of the events that we have every other month, bi-monthly events that the Texas City Police Department hosts and the chief hosts, is the Ministers and Leaders Breakfast. The next one is coming up Tuesday, September 10th. Right now it's scheduled for the Alamo Room. That's going to depend on how many RSVPs that we receive, if we need to move it to a larger venue. If you're not on that email list, contact me, contact the police department, because we'd love to have you join us for one of those breakfasts. These breakfasts started out years ago with Chief Burby and Reverend Daniels as a way to bridge the gap in the community, let the community know, portion of the community know what the police department is doing, and have a voice as to policies that need to be developed or attention that needs that we need to take in the community. That's how it started, and it's still that. But in addition to that, even while Chief Burby was here, we started bringing resources to these meetings so that our leaders in the community could find resources, receive resources to take to their constituents and the people that they know in the community. So once again, we're talking about individuals in our community and organizations being force multipliers for us. We also have the Neighborhood Watch Program. If your neighborhood does not have a Neighborhood Watch Program, or if you're not aware of one's in your neighborhood, or if you want to start one in your neighborhood, once again, contact us at the police department. And once again, I use this term a lot, force multiplier. All right, this puts more people, more eyes and ears in the community to assist us in your safety or in the community's safety. Our Explorer program, this is when young adults are trained on law enforcement tasks. They don't go out in the community and do what the law enforcement does, but they're trained in a controlled environment to complete most of the tasks that we complete as law enforcement officers. You'll also see them at events throughout the community assisting and volunteering. One of the big things that is important to us when working with them is that they learn citizenship. They learn to be productive citizens. They learn how to give their time and their energy and their skill set to others in the community. This is the first year that we've actually been in the high school, Texas City High School, teaching the Explorer program. I know we're only a week, we're in our second week now, but it looks real promising, great program. What I've always envisioned is that our Explorer program would bring, because it starts at 14, it goes 14 to 21, that we'd be able to transition these young adults from high school, from being teenagers, into law enforcement officers, all right? But there's a gap between high school, 18, 19, and when you can become law enforcement officers, 21, all right? So that gap now, because of the things that Mayor Johnson and Chief Cravens are doing, that gap is starting to be bridged. Right now we have the cadet program, like many of you are aware of, where we can take someone 20 or 21 and then bring them into the cadet program and then into the police department. All right, so now that those young adults, once they hit 18, we're just finding a place for them to stay or to work or to continue to mentor them, whether it be in the jail, whether it be at the police department in records or in dispatchers. As a matter of fact, one of the 18-year-olds that is in this current class, she's already certified as a dispatcher. All right, so we want to be able to bridge that gap so we can see that continuity from them coming in at 14 all the way until they're a certified law enforcement officer and they're working in their career. And we get a chance to work with them, mentor them, mold them all the way through. So support that if you can. If there's any comments or any suggestions that you have to help us. Oh, I'm sorry. So Texas City ISD, Ms. Culp, she's been a tremendous help in us establishing this program. I can't go without mentioning her. Few annual events that we have. The annual events that we have is National Night Out, which is coming up October 1st. Once again, if you're in a community and you're doing a National Night Out event, contact us. We'll bring our resources, come out there and spend that time with you. That's us and also the fire department. Our TCPD Sportsman Tournament has been rescheduled for Friday, October 4th. For those of you who are into skeet shooting. And of course, every year we do our Blue Santa, Christmas with the Blue. This year, we're partnering with the city. Ms. Nicole Best has allowed us to ride her coattails this year, so we're really excited about that. And then we do next year will be our second annual Birdies and Badges golf tournament, and that's scheduled for Thursday, May 8th. So register, come on out there and spend some time with us. So one of the last thing, the mayor came in and he established community matters across the board throughout the city, all departments. All right. The police department also has some objectives that they're trying to reach, and a few of those objectives fall into the public relations sphere. We're growing the Citizens Police Academy. From last year, we have a 30% increase now of members in the academy. We're working on a Citizen Patrol program. We restarted the Explorer program, like I mentioned, from what it was prior to COVID, just getting it back going. And I think now we've got it back on steroids. I can say that. We've got it back on steroids, right? And then here, so this is something that's also very important about our public relations. Instead of just having an officer or two that's in the community, we're spreading our officers out throughout the community to engage with different organizations. So they're actually adopting these organizations. So when these organizations have their meetings, whether it's in some cases a neighborhood watch meeting or a HOA meeting or anything going on throughout the city, there's an officer that attends. So these individuals know an officer, they have a point of contact, someone that they can directly reach the police department if they have a question or if they need support or they need to bring something to our attention. So this is something that we're really pushing right now as we begin assigning these to officers. And it's not just them being assigned. Our officers are also out in the community looking for these organizations, looking for ways to engage. In summary, everything I just covered. Any questions?
Commissioners, do you have any questions of Corporal Hurd?
Thank you for everything, Tim.
Absolute greatness in the police department's PR, reaching out to the community through these programs, and so I really appreciate it.
Thank you. And one thing Mayor, we thank you for your support. Commissioner Bowie, Commissioner Clark, over the years, we really thank all the commissioners for their support and being able to get these things done. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, at this time, we will have a public hearing. We're up to our public hearing, and this is where we will, the public hearing to hear citizens' opinions in favor of or in opposition to the proposed 2024 tax rate of 0.488635 cents per $100 evaluation. We'll hear from our Chief Financial Officer, Ms. Cynthia Rushing.
Thank you, Mayor, Commissioners, residents, and staff. Last session, we met and I walked you through the proposed property tax rate for the tax year 2024. So on today, we're going to, as the mayor said, that this is a public hearing. I want to walk you through the process once again and then get any type of feedback from the public hearing, and then we'll move to adopt the tax rate. So this is a process that takes place every year, and it's the truth in taxation. This activity is designed to have transparency in the property tax adoption process, and it's also to invite property owners greater participation in the process. We also want to make sure that we select a tax rate that is aligned with the annual operations within the city or the taxing unit. And so what generally happens is that each county, a county tax office will calculate this tax rate, and once they calculate the tax rate, they send it to the taxing unit within the Galveston County. And so while it may seem like it's a simple process, it's pretty complex, but there are two major data points that they receive, the Galveston County Tax Office. They'll receive the certified taxable values from the appraisal district, and then they'll also receive information from the taxing units around their debt information, their unencumbered funds, sales tax that were spent on the maintenance and operations, and then any tax increment finance payments that have been made to our TERS. And so they do all of that, and then once they compile all of this information, and there are a lot of adjustments that take place because they true up from the previous year, and then they come up with the tax rate. And so there's two categories of tax rate. There's one that is called a no new revenue tax rate. And this rate is designed to keep the revenue flat for the entity. So basically, we have an example here, but basically this is where the property base may increase, where your appraised value goes up, but the revenue associated with the taxing unit will stay flat. So you should see a decrease in the tax rate. So here in this example, and hopefully you can see it okay. You guys may have younger eyes than me, so I'm very close. But so here's a comparison of 2023, we had an adopted rate of 49 cents. And then in 2024, the no new revenue rate is the 0.488635. So this is a decrease. So it's a decrease by 0.28%. And so when we look at the average homestead taxable value is $164,000, and it went up by 8%. And so the idea is with the no new revenue tax rate, to keep it to offset the increase that you're receiving when the property value goes up. So when we look at, there was an increase in property value by almost 8.5%. And then when we look at what the average homestead is paying in taxes, that increased by 8%. And so this is based on everyone in the population. So when we look at the total amount for all of our properties, including the ones that were existing, and then the new property owners, the increase is just 1%. So we got some help by having new property into the population. So in total, our tax rate only increased by, or the levy amount only increased by 1%. However, the appraised value of the homes are averaging around 8%. And so, long-winded explanation, but sometimes this does get a little complicated in terms of what does all this mean, you know? So when you say no new revenue, what does that really mean? When you see that, well, if I look at 2023, the revenue was $33.1 million, and then the next year it went up, but you said no new revenue. Well, that new revenue that you're seeing is due to the new property owners, or properties that are now in our mix. And so, so we have this no new revenue tax rate that is given to us, that's calculated, and then we also have a voter approval tax rate, and it's the VAR, and this is the highest tax rate that a municipality or taxing unit may adopt without having to hold an election to seek voter approval. And then, of course, the adopted tax rate is just the rate that the commission actually votes on. I've already given the definition of the tax increment financing, the TIF, but this is just the money that we pay to basically insinuate and motivate entities to come in and reinvest in and build and provide economic development to the municipality. So I'm gonna go slow. So last session we talked about our recommendations, and so this is just a historical view going as far back as fiscal year 17-18, and just showing, you know, what's actually happening here and how the taxable value of our property base has increased year on year. But what was really astounding in looking at this analysis is how our tax rate, our adopted tax rate, has stayed flat for the last 3 years, FY 21, 22, 23, and 24. And so for this particular fiscal year, we're going to decrease the rate, and so it's a slight decline in the rate, but we're going in the right direction, and that's our goal. And so there's no new property tax increase, and so that's the good news. And so I have this illustrated in a chart. And so again, these bars here just represent the appraised value. And so you can see how it's just trending up. Our appraised value of our property is increasing. And so the red line is the voter approval rate, and that is the highest tax rate that we can actually select or choose without having to go and have an election. And so this is, I call it our ceiling. So this is our ceiling, this red line. And so as we look at our green line, the no new revenue rate, that's the rate that we're wanting to aim for. And so you can see how there's a huge divide between the ceiling and where the green rate is. And so for FY 24-25, we've selected, or we recommended, and it was voted, for us to move forward with the no new revenue tax rate for this fiscal year. So this is just to illustrate what the calculation is. So for FY 24, 25, our taxable value is $6.8 billion, and the no new revenue rate is the 0.488635. And so you basically are going to take that rate times the appraised value and adjust it by $100, dividing it. And so our revenue that we're expecting to receive for this fiscal year will be the $33.5 million that's circled here. And I believe this is the last slide. So we're now moving to the next step in this process.
Commissioners, do y'all have any questions of Ms. Rushing regarding this presentation of these tax rates? All right. Ladies and gentlemen of the audience, is there anyone here who would like to speak in favor of the proposed tax rate? If not, is there anyone here who would like to speak in opposition of the proposed tax rate? Mr. Gomez, make your way up to the front. Let us know your name, sir, for the record, and what your position is.
Yes, Henry Gomez, Bibliotheque City. My figures identify a small increase, very minute, but it's still a minute increase. At this time, I think the taxes increase should be frozen as it is, because there's a great burden upon our citizens, because we're just coming out of a storm and nobody's helping these people. The community development block grant people who are senior citizens who live on a fixed income cannot receive community development help in any way, shape, or form. If I'm not mistaken, my commissioner from the District 4 approves of an increase, but I do not support an increase. Matter of fact, I'd like to find out, since we're going to have an election in November, I believe it's the 3rd, I was wondering if you're going to give the police department extra money to provide security at the voting polls. Because I was there the last presidential election. We had 8 or 9 trucks, pickup trucks, with flags saying Republican, and also they had flags showing Trump. And they were going on city property at the Nestor Center.
Let me go ahead and address a few things that you have before you get too far down the line.
Okay.
The first thing you mentioned was the tax rate. You said by your calculations there was a slight increase. As our chief financial officer has explained to us, the rate that we had previously was 49 cents per $100 valuation. We've kept that rate flat for the past 3 years. This year, the no new revenue rate that we are proposing today is 48.8 cents. So by my calculations, 48.8 cents is slightly less than the 49 cents. So it's not an increase, it's a decrease on that. So I just wanted to be clear on that. To address how Commissioner of District 4 has voted is inappropriate because she has not voted yet. None of us have voted on this issue yet. That's what we're here for this public hearing on today. Well, the third and final thing I think that you asked was whether or not we're going to have increased police presence at the polls on our voting in November. At this particular time, it's kind of premature to answer that. We have not seen any need or any request for extra security at the polls by our election judges. Our election judges are in charge of the polls along with our city secretary who is over the election. If we see a need for that, then we can address that at that time. As it relates to people promoting their candidate at the area, we've always adhered to the 100 feet electioneering rule, to where you cannot have promotional materials or campaign materials within that 100 feet. Every once in a while, it's rare, but every once in a while, someone may forget about that rule and they'll have to be corrected. But again, we haven't seen anything significant enough to warrant extra security.
Well, you don't remember the time that a commissioner from Texas City punched a senior citizen and we had to take him to the hospital.
So right now, we're in a public hearing for the tax rate, Mr. Gomez. Thank you very much, sir. Anyone else here to speak in favor of or opposition? I think we're on opposition of the tax rate, the proposed rate. All right, thank you very much. Ms. Rushing, thank you very much. Commissioners?
Motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
This motion has been made to close the public hearing. All in favor say by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, this public hearing is now closed. Thank you very much. We are up to public comments on this agenda. We have two people who have requested to address the commission. And when they come forward, I just want to remind us that we have up to 3 minutes to address the commission. And we have with us today, if I mispronounce your name, please correct me, Mirlan A. Green Jr. Yes, sir.
Marlon Green.
I'm sorry?
It's Marlon Green.
Merlin, I'm sorry.
I go by Junior, so.
All right. Well,
You're not the first.
Mr. Green, if you want to make your way to the podium here, he wants to speak to us, issue concerning utilities. Yeah, come around here if you don't mind. And like I said, you have up to 3 minutes for those of us who may be new to our commission meetings. These requests to address the commission, because they're not on the agenda, we allow that as a courtesy, but we don't take any action on it. We just want to hear what you have to say, and we'll pass that to the right department.
And that's what I'm here for.
Yes, sir. State your name and where you.
Junior Green, Marlon Green Jr.
Okay.
And I live in San Leon, but I have property that Texas City annexed in 2005 along the 646 corridor. And right now, the state of Texas, or the Texas Highway Department, is widening it. So they're taking like 20 to 30 feet of my property off the front. Whenever they did this, we don't have utilities, even though we're in Texas city limits out there. When they did it, they're taking the septic systems out, and there's no place to put them because all my property is hard surfaced, and I can't get a permit or anything to put a system in hard surface. I went to Bakelift Mud, and the state is in agreement so far to help me put a lift station in with what they're going to take out. They're going to put a lift station in, but it's contingent that they'll do it if Bakelift Mud District will take the stuff from us. In order to do that, they've said that they're going to have to upgrade their system to handle more property over there, because they have to put a pressure system that goes under 146, and it's I'm out of their district. I'm city limits of Texas City, so they're going to make me sign a deal to go into their district, and I'll pay a district tax and all this. Somebody in that meeting said, why don't you go to Texas City and see if they'll can come do their part. We've paid taxes since 2005. We don't get very much for our tax base out there, but I was trying to see, and I've called numerous people in the city, and I keep getting passed to this one, and somebody said, well, just go to the court, start at the top. So I would like to see if the city of Texas City would help us in financing, helping to get the utilities to help increase Bakelift's Mud District in order for us to keep functioning out there.
Thank you, sir. We'll forward your information on to our engineering department, and someone from there will contact you and discuss what the options may be. I can't really
Sure.
speak on what they are right now.
That's
but
what I expect. I didn't expect anything other
no
than-
problem, but thank you for bringing that to our attention.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir. Next, we have Mr. Jose Boyce, wishes to speak about the best projects going forward. Mr. Boyce?
Thank you, Major, and thank you, Commissioner, for allowing me to say a few words. I've been here before, and I just want to be sure that, we're all in this together. I just want to have some concerns about the way that the city is approving these very proliferated BESS, which is the battery storage systems. And I think we're doing it with the lack of a master plan, with all the knowledge about the concerns about these batteries. And there are quite a few. So when I saw in the agenda that you had a consent agreement to potentially hire a consulting person that may be pretty knowledgeable about these things, I felt that, okay, there we go. We're going to do a master plan and we're going to come up with some guidelines. But then item 9A has some interesting language. And it says, this money will be used for the building department assistance in the review of plans and permit submittals for various battery electrical storage systems in which site plans and rezoning requests have been approved by the Planning, Zoning, and City Commission. So that means that this person is not developing a master plan. It's just going to give you some ideas of what we already have done, which I personally have lots of concerns, because I don't think we have seen or developed a way of how beneficial are these BESS units are going to benefit us, the citizen. You have one here, one here, one here. Sometimes those things actually, I think there was an article in the paper today or yesterday that some of these things only provide power for 2 hours. So what is the switching design to be able to ensure that that battery power is used by the specific area where the substation is at or lacks the power? And I think this is very complicated. I'm speaking beyond my knowledge, but I'm very concerned as a community citizen and alternate member of the planning board. And I think a master plan it needs to be developed. I think it's a must to have a master plan developed on how the city is going to manage all this proliferation of projects. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Boyce. All right. This time, that concludes our public comment section. At this time, we are up to the consent agenda. Commissioners, you have before you for your consideration consent agenda items 8A through F. For your consideration, you've been provided with some information on those. If you'd like any of those pulled for further discussion, you can do so at this time. If there are none, we have a motion.
So move, Mayor, to approve consent agenda items A through F.
Second.
Motion has been made by Commissioner Garza to approve consent agenda items A through F, 8A through F, seconded by Commissioner Sharp. All in favor, vote by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Regular items, 9A, we will consider and take action on ordinance number 2024-20, amending the fiscal year 2023-24 budget for an agreement for professional consulting services on BESS, battery energy storage systems, proposed projects. We hear from Ms. Rushing again.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. The staff is requesting a budget amendment for the expert consultant to assist with the building department with the site plans and rezoning for the battery electrical storage systems. The cost of this is $49,999.
Commissioners, either of you have any questions relative to this agenda item?
Yeah, I do. So is this just for
the one that we were talking about that's gonna be out there by Kroger's that we did that last week, or is this gonna be for the future as well? For the ones to come?
I believe this is for the,
Yeah, it
Kim,
would
you can,
be-
Ms. Golden, you can speak to that.
Good afternoon, Commissioners.
Good afternoon.
This would be for reviewing any of the permits, applications that we receive for any of the BEST projects. So far, one has made it all the way through zoning, and we're expecting to have a permit package submitted by them. There is a second one in the process that you all will be hearing probably at the next meeting. So these are consulting services to assist the department in the review of those plan submittals. We anticipate actually recovering this from the permit fee that they will be paying for those services. So it's not an outright expenditure. It's more giving us money in the budget so that we can retain this consultant to assist with these services, but they'll actually be recovered through the permit fee process from the applicants.
Have we ever done it before?
We haven't had a BEST project like this before. The previous one that was done before my time, I believe, was just reviewed directly by that building department, but it was a different building department, had different personnel.
Thank you.
Yeah, Ms. Golden, the people who will review the people who submit bids, will that be you and the planning board, or will that be you and who?
So I'm not understanding your
Who's going
question.
to review the individuals who submit a bid?
So there won't be bids to the city. So these are projects that have been through planning and zoning, and the sites have been rezoned. So now these projects will be coming forward and submitting for a building permit
Oh, so
for
this is
this
for the
kind
building
of
permit. Okay,
project.
I misunderstood.
And so
Okay.
those builders will have gone through whatever procurement process they'll be going through to retain their contractors. So, but what we have to do, as we do, like with houses, we review house plans.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is a little bit different than a house, highly technical. And so this is an expert to assist with the review of those plans.
Are these the same builders that we're looking to build off of 25th and Highway 3?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand your
Are
question.
these the same builders that we're looking to build off of 25th and Highway 3, off that corner?
So the project that has been approved is on, or the site plan and the rezoning that has been approved is on 146 North, just north of where the Best Western is. I believe the address is 410. And that's the project that has come through. There's a second one coming through that's also on 146, but on the other side of the road. So those are the only two projects that are kind of currently in the works coming this direction. I think we do have an application that's in the very, very beginning of the review process that's on 34th.
Kim, I have one more, I'm sorry. How long will this last, this agreement? I mean, how many are they gonna do? Is this only for a year? I mean.
So
do we
it's
have to wait?
open-ended. It's basically a retainer for services as we call on them. And so we won't call on them unless we actually have a permit application that comes in for a BEST project. But I do anticipate keeping this in place if it works. I mean, if we find one and it's not helpful to us, then we won't keep using it. But assuming that it does what I believe it's going to accomplish, which is provide us with the subject matter expertise to do a good job of reviewing these, we will keep it in place. Because again, the idea is we will recover the cost through the permitting process and the fee that these applicants will be paying.
Thank you. Thanks.
Any more questions, commissioners? Thank you, Ms. Golden. Ms. Rushing, you have anything else on this? This is a proposed budget amendment.
No, nothing else to add to this one.
Okay. Commissioners, what's your pleasure?
I move to approve.
I second it.
Motion has been made to approve this budget amendment by Commissioner Sharp, seconded by Commissioner Clark. All in favor, state by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much. Also from Finance, we're going to consider and take action on ordinance number 2024-21, amending the fiscal year 23-24 budget for plan review services.
This request is to assist with the permitting of the plans for the 2023 project program that the College of the Mainlands is executing at this point. They're looking to design and construct 3 new buildings. And construct 3 new buildings, which is going to increase the permitting needs for our staff. And so we're looking to have someone come in and assist so that we can have timely review of the plans for permitting. So we put this out to bid. We asked for some RFPs. They've come back in and they have evaluated, and the staff has made a recommendation for Wilden Engineering to provide the plan review services in a timely manner. So I'm asking, or we're requesting for a budget amendment of $55,000 to provide this level of assistance for the permitting team.
Thank you, Ms. Rushing. Commissioners, do you have any questions regarding this agenda item?
I move to approve.
Motion has been made to approve by Commissioner Clark. It's been seconded by Commissioner Bowie. All in favor, state by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. And last but not least, we will consider and take action on ordinance number 2024-22, which will levy an ad valorem tax for the year 2024 for the city of Texas City. And this is what we just talked about in our public hearing. We kind of workshopped that in our public hearing. The proposed budget is .488635 for a $100 evaluation. Are there any more questions regarding that?
Motion to approve, Mayor.
Second.
Motion has been made by Commissioner Garza to approve that proposed tax rate. That has been seconded by Commissioner Knoxon. All in favor, state by saying.
Aye.
Oh, wait, we gotta do a record vote on that? Okay, we'll do a record vote on that. Thank you for the reminder on that. So we'll do an individual record vote. We'll start with Commissioner Knoxon. If you are approving that rate, just say yes, or if you're not, just say no.
Yay or nay?
A or nay. We make it real simple.
Yay.
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 Yay?
Yay.
I approve.
Yay.
All right, we have unanimous approval on that proposed tax rate. Motion carries. Thank you very much. All right. And we're up to the commissioner's comments. We will start with Commissioner Knoxon if you have any comments.
It's hot. I'm pretty sure y'all figured it out.
Yeah, it's hot.
I'm working days right now, so I'm definitely feeling it. So just stay hydrated. If you're working outside, even if you're not, if you're indoors, it's smart to stay hydrated. I'd like to congratulate Chief Cravens on receiving your master's degree from Texas A&M.
Wrong school, but it's all right.
A lot of hard work. Just want to tell you that, I appreciate everything you've been doing here for the police department, your years of service. I know it's been a, tough journey, but I know the hard work has paid off in your position. I appreciate your leadership and everything you've been doing for the department and the city. So I just want to let you know that, I completely support you 110% in everything you do. I know no one here is perfect in anything they do, their positions or whatever we do, but I know your heart's in the right place, and I know you're trying to do the right thing here in this police department. So just want to let you know that.
Thank you, Commissioner Knoxon. Commissioner Love?
I'll second what he said about the heat. It's really hot out there, so make sure you hydrate. And I just want to say thank you to all the city staff. You guys are doing a tremendous job, and keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you very much, sir. Commissioner Bowie?
Normally, Commissioner Pointer would remind us about schools and obeying the rules with regards to safety. So please watch out for the buses when they stop. When they stop, you stop.
That's right.
All right.
Thank you very much. Commissioner Garza?
Speaking of the heat, commissioners, Mr. Tumbleson gives a good presentation on how to stay hydrated. He's done 2 or 3 of them, and they're very good. That's it.
That's it. Commissioner Sharp?
I'm good.
All right, thank you, sir. And Commissioner Clark. She's been around the world and she's back. Good to
Always
have you
good to be back home. Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, I'd just like to say a few things. I've been involved with the city for probably going on 40 years now, and started back with about 1980 when I got plucked from Mayor Doyle, Chuck Doyle, to be on the park board, and spent a couple of years there before I was chairman of it for over 24 years, and then came over here. And I just want to say that I'm so blessed. I feel very blessed to be here to work with such a fine group of people. The department heads that we have, all the staff that we have are just amazing. I am very blessed. I spent a lot of time with a lot of y'all today, that more time than I spent with my husband today. But I'm very thankful, but I'm really blessed for that guy back there, because today is our 53rd wedding anniversary. So. He is one lucky guy, I tell you that all the time.
Wait a minute, if you're serving on committees for 40 years, you were on the committee when you were 13.
I was 13 when Mayor Doyle got me out here, yeah.
Wow. Well, congratulations. Happy anniversary to both of you, Mr. and
Thank
Mrs.
you.
Clark.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's why I look like this. I don't usually dress this way. We're going out to dinner.
All right. Well, thank you, commissioners, for your comments. All I have to say is we did experience Leadership Mainland today. So I want to thank Ms. Alexis Koff and those people who are part of that 2024 cohort of Leadership Mainland. If you're here, go ahead and stand up. We got about 3 or 4 of you here from Leadership Mainland. All right. Thank you very much. A great program with Texas City Lamarck Chamber of Commerce, and we really appreciate them, and I appreciate you giving us the opportunity to speak with you and tell you a little bit about our city. I thought I saw former Commissioner Herrera.
He just walked out.
He just stepped out. Okay, I was just going to say hello to him and acknowledge him. But other than that, thank you all for being here. At this time, we will ask if any members of the city staff has anything to say. If you would make your way to the wall and to the podium, that way we can make sure we're picking you up on the mic. If you have anything you want to report on. Mr. John Branson of Management Services.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just want to invite everyone that's here today, including your family, your friends, to come out to the Beats and Barbecue Bash. That is going to take place right next door in this big open field here between City Hall and the Convention Center on Saturday, September 7th. It's going to be a great day of music and food, entertainment. We've got a headliner, an up-and-coming band out of Nashville, Tennessee called Restless Road, a Texas music performer called Cody West, and then another performer out of the Houston area called the Keisha Pratt Band. So come on out. It's going to be a great event. If you want to get tickets to the event, you can do so by going to our city website. And you can log on there, go to our website. You'll see a big button that you can click on that talks about the Beats and Barbecue Bash. Also, information, this is new information. The children under the age 14 and under are going to be admitted free. They have to come with a parent, but they are free of charge under 14 and under. And there will be a foam party that will be part of the celebration. Wow. It will be going on from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. right next door. So come on out.
Good. Thank you very much, Mr. Branson. Looking forward to that Tech City Music Festival. All right, from Municipal Court, we have Ms. Tammy Odom.
Well, today I'm wearing a little different hat.
Okay.
I just wanted to invite you all out to support the Mainland Community Crime Stoppers. Mr. Dixon is our treasurer. I'm the secretary, and Jason Gravitt is our president this year. So the city staff is very involved in this organization. It is going to be August the 29th at Mod Pizza. So I have placed some flyers out on the information table out front, but if you bring the flyer with you, you can use the app, you can eat in, or you can order on their website, and they will donate 20% of the proceeds to Mainland Community Crime Stoppers. There is also a fundraiser code that if you just want to snap a picture of that, you don't have to have the flyer. But we'd appreciate your support. Some of the tips that we've received recently have resulted in some very large arrests by the police department. So we're really proud of the things that we're doing, and we appreciate your support. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Ms. Tammy. We appreciate you. Anyone else? I do want to say at this time, we have a very special presentation. I would like to let the citizens of Texas City know that right now, today, this year, we are in our 50th year of celebrating with Community Development Block Grants. And the CDBG Block Grant Program has awarded the City of Texas City the 2024 CDBG Best Practice Recognition Award. This was presented to our City of Texas City Department of Community Development, and the director of that department, who is largely responsible for this award, is none other than Ms. T.T. Lyle Smith. I would like her to come forward and receive this. Thank you. Congratulations. Is that all right? Thank you very much. You can have some words if you like.
Look at you.
I do want to say that earlier we heard from someone who says we need to do more with our CDBG block grant program, and how ironic it is to get an award for best practices after such a comment, because our CDBG block grant program has been something that we have really maximized over the years, assisting our residents. Our community development department is extremely busy year-round. We have been a part of the Keep Texas Beautiful campaign, Keep Texas City Beautiful. We've worked with the City of Lamarck and partnered with them and Keep Texas City and the Keep Lamarck Beautiful campaign and joint community service projects. Our community development block grant program has assisted with demolitions and helping with blight around the community. They're busy right now working in areas of revitalization and trying to revitalize both the 1867 Settlement District as well as the greater Chelsea area over here in the east side of Texas City. The Community Development Block Grant Program has assisted in quite a bit, but more than just the CDBG, that department, the Community Development Department, has assisted with managing grant funds and dispersing those grant funds throughout the city. We've helped hundreds of families in the wake of the COVID era receive rental assistance, housing reconstruction, housing rehabilitation. There is probably very few CDBG or community development departments in the state of Texas that are as busy and active as ours, and that was proven today by the receipt of that award. Ms. T.T. Smith, we're proud of you and your staff. Keep up the good work. If there are no others, I want to thank everybody for being here. Our next commission meeting will be in September 4th, I believe it is. So you're all welcome to come back. Thank you.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. This meeting is adjourned.